I'm going to use this degreaser on my Joy-Con, and I've never used it at all before because this bottle is completely full. And so I don't know if this will melt the plastic or not. I'm thinking it won't. But you might ask yourself, if you don't know what it's going to do, why would you use it? And the answer is because of you. Well, some of you anyway. I featured my Joy-Con in a video that I did, and quite a few people were absolutely appalled with their level of greasiness. Now, I don't think that they're greasy. In fact, I'm quite positive that they're not. But a group of strangers on the internet called out my personal hygiene habits, and I just have to defend my honor. Most of the time, I just clean off my electronics with a damp rag or whatever whenever it's needed. And if I do use like an actual product, it's water based. And so that's all you really need to keep your stuff clean. Despite that, this is going to be a fun experiment, so let's just go for it. So I got my Nintendo Switch at launch time, which means it's about 6 years old, which means that these Joy-Con are about 6 years old. And when I play my Nintendo Switch, which is quite frequently, I do so undocked probably 70 to 80% of the time. So I really feel like this greasiness is just my hands rubbing down the finish off the plastic because I have these big salty man hands, and because that's happened to a lot of my electronics over time. To keep this stuff from getting on any of the actual Joy-Con electronics, I've taken the shells off. I mean, come on, you didn't think I was actually going to spray this stuff on $80 worth of equipment, did you? We're going to find out how nicely these shells clean up in just a minute, but since they're coming off, I'm actually going to take the opportunity to freshen up these Joy-Con with completely new housings. This is Extreme Rate's classic 1989 Game Boy DMG01 style Joy-Con housing kit. Extreme Rate reached out to me a while back and asked if I'd be interested in checking out some of their products. When the comments about my greasy Joy-Con started to roll in, I thought this kit would be worth taking a look at. Now, just to be clear, Extreme Rate is not paying me for this video, but they did send me the kit for free. Having said that, I actually do like this product quite a bit. The kit comes with pretty much everything you'll need to do a full-on Joy-Con housing swap. That includes the exterior shells with the interior housing, a screwdriver with tri-wing and Phillips bits, even replacement screws and springs, and this cute little manual shaped like a Game Boy, which I think is a nice touch. What the kit is missing, however, is any sort of pry tool and needle tip tweezers, both of which come in very handy when working on Joy-Con. Okay, let's get these shells sprayed. The instructions on the degreaser say to let the product sit for 1 to 2 minutes before wiping clean, so while we wait, I'm going to install the new housings. This process actually takes quite a bit longer than 2 minutes, but that's what video editing is for. Replacing the housing of a Joy-Con is basically just unscrewing and unplugging components and then moving them into a new shell, but it's easier said than done. There are a lot of small parts inside the Joy-Con, and the right actually has a few more components in it than the left one does. The back shell of the Joy-Con is really quite easy. It's just held on by one screw near the top of the controller. Removing that lets you separate the shell from the component that slides into the switch, and all that's left after that is just one plastic button. The other side of the Joy-Con is a different story. Both the left and right Joy-Con are similarly built in that the joystick, motherboard, D-pad, and other buttons are separated from the battery and triggers by a plastic harness. But the right Joy-Con also contains the NFC reader and the IR sensor. These extra features add extra components that need to be carefully removed from the Joy-Con. Because of the amount of extra small components, ribbon cables, and connectors that can be torn, I would not consider this a good project for a first-timer. It took me about 3 hours to do both Joy-Con, but I was working from behind my camera and I was really taking my time. Overall, this was a pretty fun mod, and I really like how the new shells look and feel. These are soft touch shells, and they're still firm and rigid like the original Joy-Con shells, but they have a softness to them that's hard to describe. If you've ever had a laptop that's not just plastic or straight up metal, but kind of has like this rubber film over the top of it, it's kind of like that. Now, let's wipe off these shells to see how the degreaser affected them. And as you can see, it doesn't seem to have harmed the shells at all. I didn't think that it would, but you never know. It's also very clear that these shells were not, in fact, greasy. Years of use have simply worn down the finish from them. In a way, I'm glad, because now all that effort to do the shell swap was not in vain. So what do you think of the shell swap and using degreaser as a cleaning agent for your Joy-Con? Which would you prefer? If it's the shell swap, I've got an affiliate link to the Extreme Rates website where you can browse all of their designs. There are quite a bit. But they also have kits for Xbox and PlayStation controllers, as well as LED kits and console shells for the Nintendo Switch. And if you use code PRINTMeister at checkout, you'll save yourself 10%. If you like videos about 3D printing or electronics and video games and stuff like that, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. I've got a video coming out pretty soon about the Steam Deck because I just got one. If you have any questions about that or anything else, leave it in the comments and I'll see what I can do to answer them. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay greasy.